After watching this video, you will know what the Stoic practice of journaling is, how to apply it to your everyday life, and the tremendous benefits it will bring you. Journaling has become quite a popular practice in the general field of self-help. This practice was avidly practiced by the Stoics over 2000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations were the philosopher emperor's journaling exercise. These were never supposed to be published because they were only for Marcus' self-reflection. And yet, these writings, consisting of a series of notes to himself, have become one of the most influential texts of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius kept a diary to remind himself how to live a virtuous life. But it's more than that. Keeping a Stoic journal can also help you deal with setbacks, take risks, build more self-discipline, or even make you happier. The Stoic practice of journaling can help us become a better person. The following two methods can be done mentally, but it is much more effective to write them down, as Marcus did. First, journaling in the morning. It is inevitable that something will go wrong on any given day. It can be anything from a minor inconvenience to a major setback. According to the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control, we know that only some things are under our control. As Epictetus said, some things are within our power, while others are not. The only thing we can do when something goes wrong is to respond in the most appropriate way, optimally, without anger or frustration. We should ask ourselves, how can we take appropriate action in the world while accepting things that are beyond our control? But it can be difficult to act like a Stoic when misfortune catches you unexpectedly by surprise. This is where the morning preparation journal can be very useful, using the practice of negative visualization. Marcus Aurelius practiced this in the morning to mentally prepare himself for difficult people he would encounter during the day, as evidenced by the following quote from his Meditations. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. To practice morning journaling like a Stoic, we should spend a few minutes each morning writing down all the things that could go wrong that day. Similar to the quote from Marcus, in that he wrote down all the negative qualities that people could exhibit. He had his Stoic principles at hand and remembered that they act this way because they lack wisdom and do not know the true nature of good and evil. Do we have an important meeting, presentation, exam, or date that day? These are all things we can write down as possible encounters with bad luck. We could be late, have a blackout during our presentation, mess up our exam, or get an extreme stomachache in the middle of our date. Writing these things down takes a few minutes at most. Once we write down what could go wrong, we remind ourselves that it won't be a big deal and nothing can hit us unexpectedly. By writing down possible adversities and obstacles that we may encounter during the day, we prepare our minds to deal with such events. And when the inevitable mishap should happen, it's easier to go into problem-solving mode or accept it with equanimity instead of sulking about it. We'll be much better able to respond calmly to whatever happens to us when everyone else might be panicking. As Marcus wrote, a healthy mind should be prepared for anything. In conclusion, we can ask ourselves the question, how can I come closer to wisdom and virtue today? As a support, these further questions can help us. What is required to overcome all remaining irrational fears and desires? Do I lack courage, self-discipline, or some other virtue that life requires of me? To what extent would my day be different if I acted more rationally, more wisely, and with more self-discipline? Second, self-reflection in the evening. If we want to become a better person, we must first be aware of our mistakes. That's what nightly self-reflections are for. Seneca reviewed his day every evening. He wrote, "I make use of this privilege and daily plead my cause before myself. When the lamp is taken out of my sight and my wife, who knows my habit, has ceased to talk, I pass the whole day in review before myself and repeat all that I have said and done. I conceal nothing from myself and omit nothing. For why should I be afraid of any of my shortcomings when it is in my power to say, 'I pardon you this time. See that you never do that anymore'?" Seneca asked himself the following 3 questions at the end of each day. First, what bad habit of yours have you cured today? Second, what vice have you checked? And third, in what respect are you better? Epictetus quotes the relevant lines from the Pythagoreans' golden verses to his students and says that we should have them at hand to apply in our daily lives. The 3 questions are: first, what did I do wrong? Second, what have I done right? And third, what has been left undone? Whether you choose Seneca's or Epictetus' questions for your nightly reflections is up to you. To answer each question, we go over our day in our minds and think about all of our actions during the day. We think about when we kept a good habit or reacted rationally to something, or the times we kept a bad habit or let our emotions overwhelm us. Here, we can write down 2 to 3 sentences for each question or just note bullet points. This exercise usually takes 5 to 10 minutes. Through this practice, we become more mindful throughout the day to not repeat the bad habits and maintain the good ones. If we keep this habit up for months or even years, we can also read through old entries and see how far we have come since then. It is also important not to be too hard on ourselves when we write down our nightly reflections in our diary. This is where we should develop forbearance and compassion toward ourselves. As Seneca put it, "I pardon you this time. See that you never do that anymore." It is alright to set a high standard for ourselves, but we should not be bothered by our mistakes either. Rather, take them as a basis to improve ourselves. Morning and evening self-reflection routines complement each other and form a cyclical process of reflection, learning, and mental preparation for our actions. What are the benefits of journaling? Seneca was aware of the benefits. He wrote, "How sweet is the sleep which follows the self-examination. How calm, how sound, and careless is it." Journaling has been extensively studied in scientific research. In summary, practicing journaling daily brings the following benefits: more effective management of stress as thoughts about negative events are reduced, improved communication skills, improved productivity, improved well-being after traumatic and stressful events, reduction of emotional stress, improved sleep as ruminations and worries are reduced through reflection. As American philosopher and educator John Dewey said, "We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, share the video with someone who can benefit from this content. Thank you and stay inspired.